This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for giving us that 5 minute break. We're ready to come back now. And we are now on item 10 or 9, excuse me, TDM update.
Am I on? Okay.
You are on.
Thank you, Chair and members of the board. This is just an update and information and discussion, comments. Okay, so these are the four items that I have for you. The first is the Bloomberg Cheshire Slow Street update. You at your station, I gave everyone a postcard, and this is what was sent out to all the residents in the Cheshire neighborhood to make them aware of this project. Um, the AmeriCorps fellow and I did public outreach last night, and we went door to door and discussed this project with some of the neighbors and discussed the road closures and the bus route change and answered any questions that they had. So we've already done that. Uh, the win oh, the winning design has been chosen, and that's what it looks like. It's the wetlands version. I don't know if you voted or saw them, um, but that is what the road will look like. Yeah. So it's going to be really exciting. Um, okay. Let's see. Now we are just, you know, doing art math. It's a thing, and figuring out how much paint we need and supplies and volunteers and all sorts of that. So implementation will begin the week of the 13th of May. And the road closure will be May 16th, 17th, and 18th. So before that, it's road prep, canvas prep, stenciling, delineators, all that fun stuff. Any questions on this project before I move on? Yes.
Vice Chair Sweet.
Do you have a question? When you went door to door, what was the overall theme of comments?
Surprisingly, there were some people that had no idea that it was coming to their neighborhood, which was kind of disappointing since we put so much work into the postcard. But overall, I think favorable. A lot of people didn't understand the project, so we explained it and they highly agreed that the speeding is a problem in that neighborhood and they're excited to see if this does work. We did make it clear that it's temporary, it's a demonstration project, and we're going to study, the effects and see what happens, but we're very hopeful that it does slow speeding and make the roadway safer for pedestrians and bicyclists.
I do have another question. When I met with our staff, they were saying we're not doing the candlesticks or the original proposed candlesticks are not happening. Can you tell me a little bit about how we're going to keep people off the paint or off the middle?
It is my understanding the process is the roadway will be cleaned, then it will be striped with the new plan, and that will be completed by the city. And then there will be delineators, the candlesticks around it, mostly on the end caps. There are 65 in total that will be installed into the roadway. There's a gap, a 6-inch gap between the yellow striping and the canvas, and the delineators will be put in that place. And they have a specific location, those 65, and Metroplan will be installing those delineators.
Okay, thank you. And one more question. If we can't be here on May 18th, such as myself, but I want to volunteer that week, how do we sign up and how do we get information on that?
So there's a QR code on, there's a couple ways. There's a QR code. You can scan that, and it does list options for the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. And then, or you can go to metroplanflag.org, and there's a button and that takes you, it's a Sign Up Genius platform, and you can see it there. And I think our AmeriCorps fellow put it out on social media as well.
Great. And I will be sharing all of this as I have been on social media. There's some very fun, there's a video, really great posts. The artists are super excited and doing a lot of posting. So for the board members, if you can help share this, it would be helpful.
Director Williams.
Thank you, Chair Vasquez. It's really not a question, but really a comment. Could you go back to the slide that has the design?
Yes, sir.
So I'm really, my interest is piqued. I'm interested to see how this works. And then I'm also got visions of Butler. Sections of Butler where like, if something like this works, I was almost in a car accident earlier today where a car turned all the way across 3 lanes and it missed me by literally inches. And as if I didn't even exist. So I'm being able to slow traffic down and in this format is ingenious, and I'm looking forward to some stats later on after things are in play. Thank you.
We're very excited that this is definitely a low-cost alternative to look at restructuring roadways and how it does affect traffic without having to put in a high-yield project and find grant funding, huge amounts, dollar amounts. So we're really excited to see what does happen, and it will happen. We'll partner with the city and study the roadway as well as get feedback from the neighborhood.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you. Great job. It's looking cool. I like the designs, and I look forward to being there on the 18th to see it unveiled.
Yes, thank you for coming to speak. I will want to note that the Mountain Line Route 5 will be detoured for 3 days. And the other map there is the detour. The bus stop is going to be moved temporarily closer to Cooper, away from the park. Currently, it resides at the park. And since the road's closed, we're just going to move it south just a bit. And so that route is where the bus is going to be now for 3 days.
Cool, sounds good. A lot of logistics to get this done. Great job, team, because that's not easy to do.
Okay, it's May, Bike Month. So just to highlight a few events that are happening, there was the kickoff ride, and thank you. That was really fun. Bike to School Day is May 8th, and the Kidical Mass Ride is the 8th as well in the afternoon. And that is just, I know the name is very bizarre, but it's just a fun family ride on the Foots Trail. And the Flag PD is partnering with us, and they will be there, as well as the Flagstaff Flyers as bike ambassadors, interspersed within the group of people. I hope we have a good amount this year. And then the Bike Bazaar will be held at Heritage Square on the 19th. And one more event that isn't on there that just happened this week, there is a bike safety class. It's called the Savvy Cyclist, and that will be on the 28th. I believe that's a Tuesday evening, 5:30 to 7 at the public library. And that's just a class to explain how to share the road safely with cars and where to expect cars and where cars should expect bikers, all that stuff.
Is there a flyer that's available that has all that information with times?
It's all on the Flagstaff Biking website. All of this is on their website. I did send all of the principals in Flagstaff information on Bike to School Day, though.
No, thank you. Again, as mentioned earlier, I in particular, but we are visual folks. And so, if there's like a picture with all the data on there, all the dates and stuff, that would be helpful. Because even this information here, I'm interested in some of those other events, but I have no clue on times because it's not listed on there. So if there was a way to have something that had all the data, all like a flyer for the month, I know it's old school, but I'm still kind of a dinosaur that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next topic is the Safe Routes to School program. And as you've heard earlier, we have not hired that position yet. And we are hopeful that we will be approved and that we did. Oh, we just got approved to hire a Safe Routes to School coordinator. Yay. Okay. So there you go. That is done. Okay. We'll bring more information as this
Check off the
occurs.
list.
Check that off the list. Okay. Last thing on my slide is the Safer People campaign. Just a quick background. Mentor Plan is working toward a Vision Zero policy, and this also is aligns with the Federal Highway Administration, the Safer Systems approach. And the Safer Systems approach includes safer vehicles, safer speeds, safer roads, post-crash care, and safer people. So MetroPlan proposes to spend $80,000 from the carbon reduction program fund to fund an independent consultant firm to create a branded marketing campaign supporting Vision Zero, active transportation, mode shift. It also supports the City of Flagstaff partnership on the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. And it would just create a more robust educational effort focusing on safety. So, considerations for this campaign, topics of consideration would be current infrastructure in Flagstaff and how to use them. For instance, maybe the crossing at Blackbird Roost. I think there are a lot of people that have no idea how to use that crossing, whether you're a pedestrian or a vehicle. Maybe roundabouts. Right, right. Maybe distracted driving. Our regional transportation safety plan collected data, and that data includes speed and aggressive driving, impaired and distracted driving, of course, bike and ped safety, nighttime driving, intersections, and lane departures. So we're just gathering topics, and once we have a list, if you have any comments or items that you might want to be added to that list, I'm definitely open to suggestion. And then the independent consultant firm will come together. I envision transit, like information on the buses, maybe some educational videos, of course social media, like an actual branded campaign. So it'll be a fully robust safety campaign. And that is it.
Cool. Thank you. Great job. Are there any other questions or comments at this time? All right. In that case, thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Yep. Next item, number 10, Metro Plan happenings.
Right, this is our last item, just the update of what's been happening with the Elite Eight. I'm going to use that now because that's pretty good. So obviously we've talked about it a couple times today, but the Protect Award was a very exciting happening at Metro Plan over the last month, and one that we're very proud of. In addition to that, Dave and Ty, who are not here, there's an ADOT safety meeting happening right now, so they are attending that. They wrote and collaborated with NAU on a white paper to get additional funding for NAU to further enhance their crank tool. And I can't tell you what crank stands for, but that little description there at the bottom, a cycling focused accessibility tool, is what it does. It's a research program through DOT. And so they submitted that last month and they got invited to put in a full application to get funded. So that's very exciting to move that forward as well. AMPO, the Association of Metropolitan Planning Organizations, has a conference in Albuquerque next week. Sandra and Dave are attending that and taking the Amtrak to get there. Our policy is the cheapest mode of travel. And also, in my opinion, the most fun mode of travel. Our way to get to Albuquerque is the train. So we'll look forward to their learnings from the AMPO conference. Meanwhile, 6 people are going to the NACTO conference. This is the National Association of Transportation Officials, myself and Vice Chair Sweet, as well as 2 Mountain Line staff and 2 city staff members are all attending. NACTO's the leader in design and engineering for more urban environments, I would say, so more bike ped transit friendly designs. And so they do a ton of tours throughout the city and hands-on activities, lessons learned. They have a focus on what they call NACtifying your code. And so there's been a lot of discussion about engineering standards and code changes. And so it's an exciting conference for us to get to attend. Staff were out at Earth Day on April 20th. You saw a picture of some people holding signs in one of the slides. They were giving us their ideas for how to improve transportation safety in the region. And we also did a bunch of outreach on the Cheshire project there. So thanks staff for going. And then as Kim mentioned, the Bike Month has kicked off. Chair and Vice Chair both rode the kickoff ride with a number of staff yesterday at 7 a.m. It was a chilly morning, but also a really fun ride with Adam Shimoni and his boombox. I also want to highlight what I think is the most fun activity of Bike Month, which is Bike to Breakfast on May 15th. And if you're not familiar, there's usually about 15 different breakfasts you can eat for free around town if you show up on your bike. So it's very delicious and a good time and the best way to get to work, really. So consider doing that as well as the many other things Kim talked about today. And that is all I have.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the general business presentations. I think now we're ready to get into our closing business. First item is items from the board. Board members may make general announcements, raise items of concern, or report on current topics of interest to the board. Items are not on the agenda, so discussion is limited and action not allowed. Are there any items from the board at this time? And once again, I'll just say congratulations, team. It's been really cool to watch MetroPlan grow into the different areas, and these successes we're just starting to have are really cool to watch, and I look forward to seeing how we grow into and blossom into even more robust organization and have an even greater impact in Northern Arizona. So thank you, team. And then with that, our next scheduled executive board meeting is on June 6th, 2024. Are there any other questions or comments from members of the board or from staff at this time? In that case, meeting adjourned. I don't use it, like for the county, I have a gavel too. I don't use it very often, but when I end the meeting, I like to do it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.